Testing. I have my mic set up right here. I'm using an app that lets me use my iPhone as my webcam, so that's that on that. But yeah, this is a new channel that I created. I like to ramble, where I'll pretty much just whatever's on my mind, I'm kind of just gonna use this channel like a video journal for me to look back on later, or if anybody happens to come across it and be entertained by it, more power to you. But it's basically just gonna be me talking about anything and everything, music, like what I'm up to, things I'm enjoying, etc. And right now, I wanted to touch on the topic of mental health and how a lot of people still don't seem to grasp just how much it can affect a person. Me personally, I was diagnosed with major depressive disorder, but that was back when I was around 20 years old. I'm 25 now. And, but I've been having symptoms of depression ever since I was like 9, 10, elementary school. And like being so young, I thought everybody, had negative thoughts about themselves or just viewed the world a little bit less joyful than others. But now that I'm older and I realize that there's a lot of people like me who get through their day-to-day lives and have to mask their mental health issues, whether it be depression or bipolar or whatever else. And a lot of the time, it does get really hard. Like, people who have never struggled mentally always say like, oh, just be happy, like do things that make you happy and you'll feel better. But for a lot of people, they're already doing those things and it's still not helping. And I'm glad we're at a point in our society now where it's way more accepting for people of all walks of life to be like, hey, I'm struggling mentally and I would like to get help. And they can do that without being, frowned upon by others in our society. Mental health in general is just, we need to pay more attention to it. One of the number one causes of death in youth and just in general is suicide. Every year there's hundreds of suicides, maybe thousands. I'm not really sure, but that could easily be true. So for me personally, my mental health really started to go downhill when I was around 14, because around that time, I had been questioning my sexuality a little bit, or a lot of it actually. And I was starting to wonder, like, I think I might be bisexual, but at that time and in the community that I grew up in, it was very frowned upon to be anything other than straight. So from the age of 14 all the way up to, I'd say, 18, 19, I pretty much just stored that part of myself away, and it made me feel really guilty because it's like, oh, these feelings that I have, they're a huge no-no in my culture. And so it kind of made me hate myself for being different. And all that bottled up emotion, self-hatred over something so stupid, now that I look back on it, it pretty much cemented in me that maybe I'm just not gonna cut it for this world. Like, maybe this life just isn't for me. And so I was wrestling with those thoughts back and forth. But I finally got the courage to come out to my mom and kind of my brother when I was, I think, 18. I think I was 19. And I finally came out to them as my true self, as bisexual. And fortunately for me, they were both very accepting, and like, man, I'm just really thankful for that, because if they weren't, that would have opened a whole other can of worms and just escalated things beyond measure. But yeah, after I came out to my mom, I basically asked her to make me an appointment to see a psychiatrist and to finally see if I could get on medication for my depression. And that was when I was around 20. And that was when I was officially diagnosed with MDD, or major depressive disorder. And time skip to now. It's like, man, some days, and I'm on medication for it right now, but it's still, some days you wake up and you're like, I have to get through another day. I have to feed and take care of myself, and all wasted energy. Like, why? What for? But then I remember my family, and the whole thing is just, I try to remember who's there for me and who will be there if I'm not here, and how they would feel if I'm not here. And that really grounds me and motivates me to be like, I got it. If I'm not doing it for myself, I at the very least got to do it for them. I got to be here for them. They need me. They love me. I love them. I don't want to see them have to deal with everything that comes with losing a family member. So while I do struggle with suicidal ideation, I'm always brought back to that point of thinking, like, the reactions that my family would have if I were to actually go through with it. And it is a very sad thought. It's very sad, which is a big factor in why I don't want to do that. I don't ever want to do that. But again, suicidal ideation, depression, it's still every single day, the depression just gives me absolutely zero motivation to do anything, even things that I was like really passionate about or really interested in. It's like those things can't hold my attention anymore, so I'm constantly on the lookout for new things that might interest me. It's just like in a hope that, you know, I'll become attached to this thing and it'll be a thing that I can look forward to doing every day. Which at the moment, nothing really has stuck. One thing that I grew up with is gaming. So gaming is a constant in my life because I've been playing games since I was a kid. Games just help me step out of reality for a moment and into someone else and just turn your brain off of any negative feelings that you might have. Another thing that I'm currently into that is actually really helpful for people with any sort of ailment or mental health issue is journaling. If you get all your thoughts on paper and you can read them back later, it's almost kind of, what am I trying to say? Eye-opening. Like maybe one day you take out your journal and you write down the nastiest thoughts that you had about yourself, or things that you plan to do, or things that you hate, or things that you haven't done because the lack of motivation. In the future, if you read those back, it'll be like, wow, like, look at how much I've changed. I'm not the person now. I'm the person I am now instead of being that negative person that wrote those nasty words on those pages. And just journaling in general, it's good to just keep your brain functioning, your brain healthy. You get to write whatever you want. My journal's right here, actually. It's actually covered in anime stickers. I don't know if you... Oh, let me take the pen out. They're just random stickers. I'm also a huge fan of anime, so that's how I fill some time when I have time to myself. But this is my current journal. This is my second one. I had one just like it. It was purple. I filled it up. It took me like 2 years to fill that one up, actually. But you know, you go in and you just write about everything. I promise it'll make you feel even a minuscule bit better. And even a minuscule amount is better than none, better than zero. But yeah, I highly recommend that everybody gets into journaling or some form of getting your thoughts out there, just like this video log that I'm doing. I guess you classify it as a vlog, but whatever. But yeah, this channel is pretty much gonna be me rambling about anything under the sun. If it pops up into my head, I'm gonna most likely make a video on it. And videos about things that I enjoy, things that make me happy, like gaming or things like that. But yeah, this is my intro video to my new channel. If anybody happens to find this and subscribe and whatever, I can't say what type of content I'm gonna be putting out. It's gonna be everywhere, so if you like that, then welcome to my channel. But yeah, I hope this video finds you well, and I hope your journey, whatever journey you're on, maybe it's physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, I hope everything goes great for you. And it will, because right now, if you're watching this, we're manifesting this. We are going to manifest that your day goes great, that project you've been working on goes great too, that friend you've been wanting to make, they finally respond to you. You find $1 on the street walking home, you know, throw anything in there and manifest anything good for yourself. But yeah, that's it for this video. See you in the next one, which I don't even know what the next one's going to be about, so if you tune in, fine. If you don't, that's fine too. But yeah, this is I Like to Ramble. Signing out.